9.2 dropped today, and with it we got a new endgame boss, this one being Lotan, the first corrupted Act 8, Act 9 type boss that is in the form of a Mystic Champion, and I kid you not, I soloed this fight on my very first attempt with Count Nefaria. So my Count Nefaria is rank 4, which added a lot of benefit to this, but also Nefaria, I say this like every time I make a Nefaria video, he can't die. Like, he is one of the most immortal champions, if not the most immortal champion in the entire game, and you're going to see me make quite a few mistakes early on in the game, but because of the fact that his regen is so good, we're just going to outlast it, and we're going to be fine and get through all 5 of these phases in one go. So, in case you don't know how to fight Lotan, I'll try to talk a little bit about it in this fight. If you don't have Count Nefaria, you don't need to have him. You can use pretty much any science champ, but I'm using Count Nefaria mainly because of his sustainability, it being a brand new boss, and stuff like that. So, Lotan is going to give you an action to perform to remove these charges that she has, those green charges on the side, and in order to remove them at all, you have to be in a specific area on the fight. As you can see, there's this giant storm in the middle of the field, and that storm is your location. Basically, depending on what phase it is, you are going to need to be in a specific position relative to either the wall or the storm. And in this case, for the first phase, it is push Lotan to her wall. So there I missed a parry. We have so much physical resist to where her hits barely do any damage to me. Luckily, she didn't crit me a bunch, otherwise that would have bypassed some of that resistance, and I might have died right there. But she didn't ever crit me, so that's nice. And I am getting the evade down on her special one pretty consistently. So I kind of tried to figure it out in the moment. Special 1 decks might be a little hard at first, but I was able to get the hang of it pretty well. And as you take this fight, you're definitely going to get the hang of it more. So, yeah, the goal for the first phase is push Lotan to her wall and use your second medium attack. And that's exactly what we're doing to remove these charges initially. And it's second medium attack or special 1. So there are different removals. I think there's usually 2 per phase, and then the location for the first phase is going to be Lotan's wall. So yeah, we need to use double mediums when she's at the wall, and then we're eventually going to wound her when her charges are out, and she's going to be wounded, but if you do a certain amount of damage, which is usually around 33% of her health, the wounded's going to expire much faster, and you're going to have to re-ramp again, just so you don't cheese it all in one phase. And now we're in phase 2. Phase 2 took probably the longest for me to get the hang of. This one you want to be at your wall. And you want to be at your wall, you're going to get that smite charge when you enter your wall area. And that smite charge is going to allow you to do the removal. In this case, the removal is 4th light attack or relic. And yeah, this one took me a while to get the hang of. And she's also got the heavy attack that's unstoppable for a lot of it. So you do need to be very careful of that. But just look at Nefaria's regen. We devoured those buffs and went from like 20% health barely to almost 40%. So the more ionic charges you place, the more you're just going to regen. It is based off of missing health, so it's going to look a lot more potent when he's low. However, I do want to make sure to use my evade on her basic attacks as often as possible so that I am placing as many of the debuffs as I can and keep my healing up. There we got another 7% health back, which is nice. And I used the relic there. And now we push her into the wounded phase. So going for the special 2 here. You do most of your damage through crits in this fight. So definitely, if you have a champ who has like higher crit rating, that is going to help out a good bit here. Because you don't want to use DOT effects. DOT effects do virtually no damage ever, and that includes, I think, all forms of red numbers, except for maybe a couple. I didn't really read a lot of her abilities. I actually learned all how to fight her because of Simula's guide, the other content creator Simula, which I highly encourage you go check out the video. I'll probably pin it in the description and the pinned comment, because that's how I learned how these removal charges actually work. And rather than reading her abilities, which would have been a lot for me to digest, it was much easier to watch him break it down pretty perfectly. So that's how I was able to solo this fight. So anyway, we want to continue to be at my wall, continue to get that charge from pushing myself there, and then using the relic or a 4th light attack. And I don't know why I didn't just 4th light there. I could have done it and pushed her into her wounded phase, but it's whatever. I dropped the special 2 here. It's important to remember that whenever she runs out of the wounded phase, she's going to purify all debuffs on her. So there, I should have dropped a special 1 just to get the free healing from the Devour before the debuffs were removed, but that's fine. It's not that big a deal. We just lost out on a little bit of health. And yeah, so we have her 20% now. I need to trigger 1 more wounded phase, and then we're going to be moving into phase 3. So I'm going to dex the special attack there. I realized there just wasn't that much point in trying to go for the evade. I don't need the energy vulnerability to push her into the next phase, which could be in part because I'm playing a rank 4 Nefaria. But even if you're not, like a rank 3 or even a rank 2 Nefaria is going to do very good for this fight. So we are in the wall, so I'm going to dex this, and I should have went for the counter. I didn't, but it's okay. We're going to get it here. And there we go. We have her wounded, and I just need to do a few more hits, hopefully get some crits on them, and then she's going to be in phase 3. Alright, phase 3 is a bit more tricky. This one, I don't remember off the top of my head how you get this smite. I think it's between the storm and the wall. So you want to position, yeah, like right here. We're outside the storm, but we're also not near the wall, and then I push her into the wall there, so I remove the spell, or the smite charge. However, that's okay, I just need to use my space control, get myself over there. And the goal for this one is to well-time block or use special 2. And you can well-time block very repeatedly because she is stun immune in this phase. So that's something you do need to be aware of. She is going to be stun immune, so don't eat a heavy attack because you didn't realize that she was not going to accept your parry, I should say. So she's wounded now. I'm going to go for my special 2 here, and we do crazy damage there, and we didn't get a crit on the last hit, unfortunately, but that is fine. And just like that, we did the 33%, and she ran out of her wounded. So now I'm going to do the parries once again, of course. She did hit me there. We're fine. Gonna get a little bit of health back from both Adrenaline and the Devour. And then, at this point, I do need to try to be a bit more intentional with my parries, which I'm not doing at the moment. And here I go for the evade, which I didn't need to do, but it's whatever. So there, go for some parries again. Evade, that's fine. Special 2 I should be going for, but I'm not instead for some reason. And here I'm going to dex the special, go for the evade at the end, which again I don't need to do at all. And then special 2, she's wounded now. I have some furies. Made sure I was recording because I wasn't expecting this to go very well. I was jokingly saying that I was going to get like a solo on the first attempt on a VC. And I didn't expect Nefaria's just power and regen to be able to carry me that much. So at this point I need to wound her one more time. So we have her at 12 charges. And I'm going to go for some well-timed blocks there. She's down to 6, and then she's wounded once again, just like that. Push her into 4th phase. Okay, 4th phase is a little bit trickier. This one, I remember you need to have either you or her in the storm. At least one of you guys. So, like here, neither of us are. And the storm is also smaller as the phases go on until the final phase where it covers up the whole map. So definitely be careful of that. But we also have to deal with unblockable special 1 in this phase. Got clipped by it there, but we didn't lose that much health because of our physical resistance or energy resistance. I don't remember which type of damage her special 1 drops, but he's resistant to both, so works out just fine. And this one also takes a very long time. This probably was the longest phase for me. You want to be in that storm, and you remove by dexing or using a heavy attack, both of which I didn't do very well initially. I think I got the hang of it sooner or later, and there I lost all my charges, so that's annoying, but it's whatever. I got a dex there, and then I pushed myself out of the storm, but here I'm going for the evade there in special 1, get some regen back. And I definitely need to keep trying to get the dex down. I didn't try to heavy counter her heavy. It might be possible, it might not. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I need to be in the storm here and trigger the dexes then, which isn't easy because at the same time you're trying to push yourself away from it at that point. And yeah, it's fine. But here, that's perfect spacing, where you're in the storm and she drops a special one, and then you do the dexes on it. That worked out pretty well. So I have 7 Furies now. I'm gonna try to regen, but unfortunately the debuffs were removed before I could. That's fine. Gain some parries, which is just gonna help me get that those resistances up. And here I need to do the dexes, which is perfect because I'm in the storm. Got 2 of them right there. Actually, just 1 because I messed up the final hit. But you can evade and then heavy attack with Nefaria, which is awesome. And there, that looks like you could probably heavy punish it. Again, I didn't try because I didn't really want to risk it. But you probably can heavy punish her heavy. She might recover extremely fast from it, and I'm just wrong. But I guess it's worth a shot if you're just not trying to go for the solo initially. So, anyway, we wound her again. Need to do that 33% health, and then the wounded goes away. So gotta do this one more time where we're doing a bunch of dexes and heavies while in that storm. Here I'm not close enough, that's annoying, but it's fine. And I missed the dex. That's okay. Here, I don't know why I'm doing that. I think I might have just been trying to get the charges for some healing. So now I'm going to push myself into that storm, and we're doing good now. So, she's going to throw her special 1 here. We get a dex, and then we get another dex, go for the counter, and I'm going to try to evade into a heavy, which, no, I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. That would have been smart. So, going to go for some parries there, and here, she's going to drop the special 1, perfect, because I'm in the storm. And there, we need to just do 1 more dex, which I'm going to get right there, and she's wounded. And we move into the 5th phase. So, this 5th phase, again, I cannot tell you all the abilities that happened here, because I didn't read them. I watched the guide. But Nefaria was able to stop a bunch of power gain prompts that were triggering. I don't even know where the power gain is coming from. However, because of the fact that we reduced power gain potency by a lot in Nefaria's ionic form, which honestly might not even be happening, because I don't know if she's like immune to ability power rate modification or something. All I know is Nefaria is killing it. That's about it. But the storm covers the entire map. And that's fine, because you are okay. You're not going to get degened if you play aggressive. That's the whole goal here. Every time you hit, you're pausing that timer. When she drops a special, that timer is paused. The goal here, dex the second to last hit, run into the last hit on her special 1 or special 2. I don't recommend pushing her special 2 unless you've like known the animation and can consistently dex it, which I don't think I pushed her to special 2 once this fight, because I don't want to deal with it if I don't know what exactly it looks like. I've seen what it looks like, but I mean like the proper dex and stuff. So here my ionic charges are just going crazy because of the power gain that she's attempting to trigger, and we are just doing a crap ton of damage. The power gain is either very low at base, or it's being mitigated by Nefaria's kit very well. Again, I still don't even know, but it's going very well. And yeah, the whole thing is push her to special 1, dex the second to last hit, run into the last hit. And sometimes I'm going to eat the hit because I'm just bad at the timing, but it's okay because Nefaria's physical resist is going to carry me. So I'm going to drop the special 2 here, which I honestly thought was going to go into her unstoppable, but at least it didn't. That's nice. And there we go, dex, run into it. We are big chilling here. Drop my special 1, regen a bunch, and here she throws her special 1 again. We dash in. We only need to do this a couple more times. She's just over half health, and 2 more special 1s out of her, and then we're going to wound her again. There we go. We have 500 of Nefaria's ionic charges just because of how much we're able to devour in this fight. And there we go. Go for the special 2. And 1 more dex, and then she's going to be wounded. And then we're almost out of the fight. So, going to go ahead and regen again because we can. And then we're just going to do a bunch of damage to her once I get the Furies, which I do right there. And I was hoping that hit would like somehow crit before the timer expired and just kill her off the bat, but yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. But it's fine. 4 special ones. If I dex them all correctly, the fight's over. And there we go. That's one of them. So, special 1, get some regen back, give myself some more charges. We're at 88% now. This last phase is just so cheesy. You're placing ionic charges all the time. And then special 1 here. I mean special 2 here, my bad. And 2 more special 1s out of her. Fight's over. Dex, run into it. And then 1 more. We're going to get right here, I think. Yeah, so she throws it. Dex, run in. Fight's over. Special 2 right there. And that is a first attempt solo on Lotan with Count Nefaria, who, if I haven't already said enough, is the immortal king. He has so much resistances, so much regen, and is truly one of the most insane champions ever released. So, there we go. Hope you guys are enjoying fighting Lotan as well. I hope this video was eye-opening to you, and you will try to use your Nefarious for it, because again, he is just ridiculous. And good luck with your own runs. Watch the Simula guide. It helped me immensely, and I will see you in the next video.